104.1 KRBE. Let's get started. It's the Roula and Ryan Show.
Wake up, fool!
Hey, wake up!
It's about to get all stupid up in here!
Right here.
Featuring Eric.
Eric, he is a bad, bad man.
Special K.
The big red K.
Are you threatening me?
I'm waiting for you.
And Sam.
I am a wuss! I am a wuss!
You've waited long enough. How the heck do you pronounce this woman's name?
Roula. And
Ding dong.
Ryan. 104.1 KRBE.
Good morning.
Who wants to party?
It is Friday,
Thank
June the 21st of 2024. And yes, we are very happy we've made it to the weekend. It's 6 o'clock on the dot with the gang, Roula, Ryan, Eric, Special K. And let's just get Friday started with what you want to know. What happened yesterday on Roula and Ryan's Roses?
Okay, so Monday morning, 7:20, we'll try and get you an update. That's a lot to process, learning that you had a child or the man that you're dating.
Well, we had a lot of calls
now
after
dad.
that yesterday, after that ended in real time.
People
A
that
lot of people
discovered.
found out they had kids, and they didn't find them until they were like 24 or
People left messages.
12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Sucks.
So,
I'm telling you, all those 23andMe's and Ancestry.coms and all those DNA tests.
Makes you wonder all the people out there that didn't have 23andMe, like in the 80s and 50s, 70s.
and they're like, that's when times were great. Nobody could find me.
And
Nobody could find me.
they couldn't catch me.
Try and catch me for some child support. It's terrible.
But don't you remember, that's how Frank Billingsley discovered his family.
Right, that's right.
Because he had been adopted, and he wrote a whole book about it.
It's pretty incredible. I'm just glad I know where it came from. Thank goodness. My biggest fear was when I had my kid, I told my husband, you follow that baby everywhere it goes. You better not leave her out of your sight. I want to make sure there's no baby switch. I grew up watching those after-school specials of the baby switches.
But I think as a parent,
has
you
their
like,
protocol.
when
Your
my
baby's not going to get switched.
daughter was born, I mean, she looked so much like her mom. Like, you could have mixed her up with like
You can't
100
tell.
babies, and I would have been able to pick her out in the
can't
lineup.
They
No, I
all
couldn't.
look like little prunes.
Nah, you can tell your kid.
I don't know, man. I had to look for some marker on my kid. Oh, my God. I did. Because it's such a whirlwind when you have a baby. You're like, oh, my God, what?
I was thinking
looked
about
for a marker.
Twins identical that you're like, they screwed it up a few times.
100%.
Your name was Mark, but really it's Ed.
Oh, which one had which
Well,
name?
for the first
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
months, we thought you were Mark, but
Yep.
you were actually Mike.
Whatever.
So
Yeah,
then we
what
just
difference
switched
does
your
it
name
make?
anyway because it seemed like Mike fit you better, or Mark fit you better.
Yep.
So crazy. Today on the Roula and Ryan Show, we've got more tickets for you for Wallows at 8 o'clock this morning, 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 7 o'clock. Of course, Special K's got prank calls. Is it telemarketer run or prank
It
call?
is,
Oh,
yeah.
I love those.
Today's saying is, could you run that back now?
Could you run that
Oh, I'm
back
sure
now?
that'll drive them nuts fast.
So they're going to have to say the same thing over and over again as well.
Thanks, dummy.
Every minute
For
you
repeating.
talk to them is the less minute they're out there scamming.
Somebody
Yeah.
else.
You're doing God's work, Kevin.
How long? You are. Kevin, how
You're
long
helping
would you
little old
say?
ladies get scammed.
Jesus will
Yeah.
be proud.
How long has your longest prank call been unedited? Like, how long was
I
your
just
record
did it.
that you held somebody
I just
on?
did it the other day, and you haven't heard it yet, but it's about 16 minutes long.
Oh, wow.
You and Kevin got bored with it.
I absolutely got to that point, like, man, this is going to take a long time to edit. Let me
Yeah,
get
no
out of
jokes
here.
left.
No jokes left whatsoever. I've gone through all of my papers, my iPhone. I'm looking up things that we talked about on the show. I'm getting everything in there.
You're like, this conversation's grown tiresome. I'm going to let you go now.
Yeah, I don't have that much airtime to get this prank call done.
Somebody woke up late and they missed the Who Wants to Party.
Oh, hit that one
Who
time.
wants to party?
Yes, it's Friday.
All right, coming up next in Celebrity Scoop, I know people try and make some kind of noise when it comes to saving the environment or whatever their cause is. I can't stand you if you desecrate amazing living works of art that have been around for centuries
Oh,
because
yeah.
you thought it's great to do this and you went overseas and destroyed something in Europe. I'm not endorsing vandalism, but Taylor Swift's property was vandalized in the name of a cause. What happened there? We'll find out next. Here's your weather for today.
Sunshine, it'll be in the low 90s right now, 78 degrees and 610 on the Roula and Ryan Show.
Keep your radio right here
Time for your daily scoop. Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop.
on KRBE.
All right, my friends, don't forget that today at 8 o'clock, your first chance of the day to score some Wallows tickets, and that is for our private event at the Rustic downtown, just for KRBE, a private performance and a Q&A session. If you are listening to us and you are stuck in traffic, and maybe you don't really know why or how long you'll be there, if you're trying to go 59 South and 288, that's shut down. It is totally shut down. So a lot of people are stuck in a huge line of traffic because it's happened around 4:45 in the morning where a bus closed up. They've closed all the lanes because of an incident with a bus. So,
Like a bus tip over something, or what they say?
well, it says it's an accident, but I didn't see another car on the news. I don't know if they already cleared the other car. I just saw that the bus was sideways, like not sideways on its side, but just across the freeway versus just in one lane.
Yeah, there's no way we're getting flying cars.
No,
No, it was up on the barrier, like the median barrier.
Yeah, 59 South and 288, right shoulder, left shoulder. No, right shoulder, right lane, center lane.
A bus ended up on top
Whole
of a
thing.
retaining wall on the Southwest Freeway around 4:30 this morning, heading north inbound on 288. The freeway is closed.
Complete roadway closure.
Yeah. So it's going to be a
Good
mess.
I think people just need to put where you're going every morning when you wake up.
Yeah, on Waze and see.
Yep, just to see.
But you're screwed if you're the first one on it because it's not there yet.
Yeah.
Because remember when 45 got shut down because that person's car was messed up and they tried to get out and they unfortunately did not make the sprint across the freeway and it shut down 45 for like 7 hours.
Yeah.
The people who were right at the first part of the scene, because it was right near that UTMB on 45, and there were doctors and nurses who were like, "Oh my God, I was almost there. Like I was almost there," and they were almost to work when this happened, so they were stuck in the traffic until.
And that starts a butterfly
noon.
effect. Think about it, there might be a doctor the third car back can't get to a case to do a surgery.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
of
oh,
someone's
yeah.
life. That person can't get there. They go home. They find out their mate's cheating. And then they get
You
divorced.
weren't supposed to be here.
So
You
many
weren't
things
supposed
could
to be
happen
here.
because of one little accident.
One thing, yeah. So just, I guess, pack your patience, friends. I think I can see now they're letting one lane. See, that's that one lane or two lanes are creeping by. Two lanes
It
shows
looks
they're
like
creeping
two
by.
lanes.
All right, so it'll be a bit of a long morning. Okay, so over the years, we've heard stories of activists destroying things just to make some noise.
That drives
draw
me
some
nuts.
attention. But you
when
know what?
I see them ruin like a painting that has existed for 500 years.
Last year they were doing a lot of gluing. These two women tried to glue their hands to a basketball court during the playoffs.
And what was the message? What was the cause?
I can't remember.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's
I
the
don't.
thing.
I don't know the
How
cause of
effective
what
is
any
your
of it-
message?
I do know that when it comes to art vandalism, a lot of it has been climate change awareness. Like they're making noise for we should protect our environment, but I don't know how that's helping by spray painting the Mona Lisa or these marble works of
The
art. in
Daily
Italy.
Show last night, they're like, okay, so you're trying to spray Stonehenge with orange paint, and it looked like a Dorito. And then they show a picture of New York last year where it all turned orange. They goes, this happened in New York last year. Nobody cared. Nobody did anything. If we didn't do anything when this happened, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So, some activists for the environment wanted to just stop oil because they're trying to talk about our carbon footprint, and a lot of private jets use they have a huge carbon footprint. Taylor Swift has a private jet. A lot of celebrities have private jets, and two activists for the environmental group Just Stop Oil spray painted the runway of the private jets at the London airport. Two women cut through a fence at that airport, sprayed orange paint from modified fire extinguishers onto two jets. Neither ended up being Taylor's because she was supposed to have landed there ahead of the Eras Tour shows, but I guess they didn't time it out right because they were hoping if they got her jet, it'd make more noise.
Was it Scotland? Or were they?
It was
doing
in London.
London?
It's the same group that spray painted Stonehenge on Wednesday, Eric.
Same people.
So you're
Same
trying
people.
to protect the environment by putting hazardous chemicals all over something.
That makes sense. I try to look up this, this article about give me some examples of other big pieces of art that have been vandalized. There's been activists have targeted well-known paintings to bring attention to climate change, and there's been over 23 incidents in the last 10 years. I tried to open up the whole article, but unfortunately I couldn't get in there. And I tried that website, archive.ph, to unlock it, but for some reason it didn't
That's
unlock
weird.
it.
I wonder why it didn't work.
I know, look at that.
Usually
But
always works.
The New York Times did an article on that. Oh, here it goes. Cans of tomato soup were splattered all over Van Gogh's sunflowers at London's National Gallery by a pair of activists from the same group, Just Stop Oil. Let's see. Later in that month, a painting in Monet's grain stack series was smeared with mashed potatoes at a museum in Germany. At a museum in The Hague, a man glued his head to the painting Girl with Pearl Earring, while another man glued his hand to the wall, poured a thick red liquid over himself, and just started spouting off about their
back in 2022, somebody tried to glue their hands to that famous painting, The Scream.
Can't they get together and like think of a plan and like maybe just do a great podcast, get some good celebrities and do something?
It's not going to help. All you're doing is making people angry.
Yeah.
Like when you stop traffic and stuff.
They say to environmentalists, the cause is worthy of being loudly and clearly heard. But you're not being heard.
You're just
because
destroying
even
stuff.
people who care about the environment and would want to actually have a conversation with you get so angry at you with the route you took. Because there's nothing, you cannot replace these precious works of art. We can't get them back.
Thank God they put them behind glass.
And now they do. When you saw the Mona Lisa, was it behind glass?
Oh, yeah. I saw it like a couple years ago, and you can't even get within like 20 feet of it.
Well, I saw it in 2002, I think, 2001. And you could get pretty close
pretty
up
close
to
to
it.
it.
I saw it in 2022. I'd say like about maybe 15
There's so
feet
many
or so.
people.
There's you can't get right up next to it. Like,
I could
and there's
when I
a
was
really
20
long line.
years ago, I could.
Like we waited in line for like 45 minutes to see it.
That's the one where I got the video of my father-in-law because he's got hearing aids. They have a line for people that have like needs.
Yeah.
And they let him go through that line to go up, get up closer. And I'm like, he's got hearing aids. It's a painting.
Yeah, you're not hearing the painting.
But the best is I get the video because I'm doing like a
it's great. I
selfie
got the cut
video
line.
with myself, my sister-in-law. And you see him behind. He walks right up, looks at it for like 3 seconds, not even 2 seconds. Like, oh, all right, walked away.
Good times.
I just laughed because
That's great.
It's like, oh, that's what it is.
A passing in Hollywood to make note of, Donald Sutherland, who, if you love the Hunger Games, he's President Snow. He's been in so many different movies. I think the first time I saw him was in Backdraft. Maybe it was JFK.
Oh, God, he goes way back.
Oh, yeah,
He's
he
in
was the
Backdraft. Fire Chief?
no, he was
Fire
the
Chief?
bad guy, like Science of the Lambs type guy. He was like a fire starter.
Well, no,
in
that's the other
Backdraft?
guy, Scott something in Backdraft. The
No,
bad
no,
guy
no.
was...
Remember they went to talk to him? He was in jail.
Oh, that's
He
right.
had that weird laugh.
Yeah, he's like the Hannibal Lecter of fires.
Yeah.
In Backdraft. He's been in many, many, many different movies. At 88 years of age,
Animal
he
House.
passed away. Donald Sutherland's son, Kiefer, you also very well know. And he's
Jack
the one
Bauer.
that wrote out, with a heavy heart, I tell you that my father, Donald Sutherland, has passed away. I personally think one of the most important actors in the history of film. Never daunted by a role, good, bad, or ugly. He loved what he did and did what he loved, and no one can ever ask for more than that.
And you
A
never
life well
realized
lived.
you
Voiceover
never
work too.
That's what I was going to say.
He started it.
The net worth of
famous
Donald
people.
Sutherland was over $60 million, and a large chunk of that was because of voiceover.
He was like the first like celebrity to really make it
Yeah,
normal.
You don't even realize how many commercials that man's voice was on.
Between Donald Sutherland and the guy with the mustache from
Sam Elliott.
Oh yeah,
yeah, Sam Elliott. Those
he's
two
got
guys.
that slow Southern kind of like warm feeling.
I know him from Star is Born.
Sam
Sibling
Elliott.
rivalry.
Wasn't he in Roadhouse or no?
Yeah, that was the guy in Roadhouse who gets killed. His that was
Spoiler alert.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's only 30 years.
And the new
It was-
one?
No, in the original one.
It almost like it's
Patrick
almost like-
Swayze's friend who gets murdered.
Yeah, I tried watching. Speaking of, because the other Roadhouse movie with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
I watched an episode of that Presumed Innocent.
Isn't that so good?
It's kind of boring at first, but it gets you.
Oh no, it's
But then
a
I'm
slow
like
burn.
watching it, and like you can tell he's in great shape, and so they made him like a swimmer. Like
Mm-hmm.
so, there's scenes where he has to unwind and go in the swimming place with his shirt's off.
No.
You know, stuff like
To
having
his
to play pool or
toplessness.
darts or
Oh yeah,
pickleball.
I
They're
didn't
like,
even think about that.
they're like, oh, this guy, we got to let women see his body.
Boy, they really hook you. I say this over and over again. Apple TV, first of all, their interface sucks. It's really not user friendly. And they don't have a lot of programming, but the programming they do have is amazing.
I
And
don't
that is
think their
a
interface
well done.
Is that much worse than? I mean,
No,
it's the same
I-
tiles. You just click the tile.
It's just not like Netflix is so easy to use. Apple is not.
I hope does it get better
Oh yeah, like there's a hook after
mean,
the
I
first
think it-
episode.
at the end of it. But if you watch the trailer, you know what the hook is.
Yeah, I don't want to
That's
give
what
it
I
out.
watched. I watched the trailer. I'm like, oh, so
You saw the
I
whole
already know
movie.
what's.
See, I didn't. So I went into it completely not knowing anything. I'm like, whoa, this is happening?
I am the product of those fast, chop videos now of cooking channels. So I just watched the previews of shows and I saw the whole thing now. Let's go the last
No,
5
you
minutes. Who cares? Like that movie Eric, that show Eric on Netflix
Oh, that was
with the
terrible.
missing kid. I just went right to the last episode, right to the end of it. I go, okay, they find this kid or not? That's
Once
how
I
it works.
made
don't
it like
care.
halfway through the first episode, I'm like, this is just too dark for me. Like I couldn't get into it.
But it really wasn't. If you watch it, it's like
It's not.
because it's not like I can't give it away, but
I don't
like,
want
you know,
you
usually
to.
there's
Eric.
like someone steals a kid because they want to do things to the kid. It wasn't that way.
It wasn't that.
Okay.
It wasn't
Could have been.
Felt like it was going to be, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't think I'm in the mood for this.
It's not good.
Well, how about we open the phones this Friday, as it is Friday. Let's be in a good mood. It is Open Phone Friday time, 713-390-KRBE.
Can
Our
ask
phones
us anything.
are open for you next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
104.1 KRBE. Back to the Roula and Ryan Show.
Okay, open phone Fridays at 713-390-KRBE.
This is the start when people just go on vacations.
Yep, and
like I'm leaving.
nobody's here.
This weekend. A lot of people leave next week and the week after. Mm-hmm. It's the hardest part of doing radio, I always think. The week before, 2 weeks before Christmas.
And right before summer
and you
vacation.
say hard because you like to have interaction with people. And
Oh,
people
yeah.
aren't.
There's a lot of shows I know that they
Locked
don't.
in.
They think callers. They'll say the callers are idiots and they don't want to take them. I'm like, are you nuts? They
That's
are a part of our show. Like
Biggest part of our show.
they're fabric.
We've had the most amazing stories from the people that call our show.
Yeah. The more you guys talk, the less you have to hear Ryan and my stories.
Thank you.
So it's a win-win for you guys.
We got a lot of great calls on the listener line.
And I
You
say
wanna
that
play
because
a
I
couple?
have no calls lined up. I have lots of listener line calls.
Yeah. I've been
If you
checking
wanna
that thing
call
nonstop.
Mods by the phones, you can call him. He'll get you on. But let's play listener line calls too. We haven't done that.
Let's start
A week
with
and a half.
this one.
Hello, Rula, Ryan, Sam, and Eric. The reason why I don't order out or have deliveries of food to my home, 9 times out of 10, is incorrect. So what I do, I get up off my butt and go get my damn food. That way, once I get there, if it's incorrect, I can have it corrected there at the store. And I don't go through the problems that you all were talking about. So I don't feel sorry for you all. Not one bit. Get up off the couch and go get your damn food.
Yeah, I did yesterday.
agree.
I did
What
yesterday.
were
I
we
got
talking
burned. I
about?
did the drive-through.
Hold on, what were we talking about, Ryan, that spawned that call?
Like, remember I ordered the pizza? My
Uh-huh.
wife ordered pizza and ordered extra sauce for the little bites and extra like cinnamon.
Oh, and they
frosting.
charged you for the sauce and didn't bring you the
And
sauce.
didn't bring anything
Okay, right. Okay.
sauce wise. So that
What about when you get up off your butt, you drive there, you pick it up, and then you get home, and you get home in Houston traffic and realize I just spent like 30 minutes getting home, and something is missing.
But my thing is, you got kids. You're at home. You can't just leave kids alone. Mm-hmm. If you
And
got
you don't want to
youngsters,
pile everybody in car seats and get everybody get in there.
get
and,
that pizza that's on the sitting right next to you, and it slides off, and it smells up your car. There's certain takeout. There's a place nearby here. Ryan always talks about when he orders the food, he loves it, but it makes his
Stinks
car
up the car.
smell
It
really
destroys
bad.
the car. Certain foods
Plus,
just absolutely
we're helping
do
the
not
economy.
make the journey.
You're helping the economy.
Yep.
The DoorDash.
by getting
Giving
their
people jobs.
keeping them employed.
Absolutely. You guys, do you remember what the Jane Doe call was earlier this week?
Yes. This girl went on like 7 dates with this guy, and she was not that into him, and she was about to give him the breakup message when tragically he was struck by a vehicle and killed. And on his side of the thing, he had told his mom that he's really falling for this girl and they're meant to be.
She's
so
the one.
his family thinks that she's so distraught, like him, like, oh, you lost the love of your life. He loved you so much. Y'all were probably going to get married. And she's like, yeah. So she had been, helping him out emotionally by going to lunch and playing along.
Which
that
I think
she's
is
this
being a
sad
good person.
girlfriend that
I
lost
mean-
her boyfriend. When really she was like, I was about to break up with him. I
Now
wasn't
they
that
want
into him.
I mean, they're hurting.
To join them for 4th of July in Galveston.
At their beach house, and it's just a lot. And she didn't know how to stop the cycle because she was not that into this guy.
We mostly just said lie and pretend.
Well, you got to
I mean, yeah, I mean, I
phase
just
out
think
with
that-
grace
yeah,
is what we told her.
ghost
Phase
them.
out with grace.
Yeah, I think that you're helping these people through the worst time of their lives. It's just called being a decent human being.
A lot of people didn't agree, though.
What's
I
the call
know.
we got on that?
I am so appalled at how you guys are like trying to coddle the mom and her feelings and the family when it's so necessary, because this is an issue with society. Society wants to protect everyone's feelings and just not be honest. Because when you're honest, you allow the person to cycle through their own emotions and their feelings. When you try to protect them from that, not only does it make you a liar, but it also does not give them the opportunity to either go seek therapy or go see other ways that they can get their healing.
Okay, but this mama just lost her baby boy, okay?
We weren't talking about.
I don't think that
I don't want to hurt his feelings from like a bad date we had where he picked his nose and I saw him and it grossed me out. It was this man died.
Okay,
and his family
there is nothing
still grieving a lot.
worse in this life than a parent outliving a child. So this poor woman has lost her child.
But
and
it's
I think
also
being
not
nice
this
to
other
her,
girl's responsibility to, be her therapy the rest of her life. This girl shouldn't mentally pay for it either. That's what we were saying. You got to figure out how to bail out with grace.
But they're saying, tell the truth, like right away. Like, oh, no.
I wasn't into your kid.
Yeah.
What? How does that help that
I
woman
know you're
ever?
grieving. You just lost your baby boy. By the way, I didn't love your son. I don't want to see you anymore.
I didn't want to see him. I was going to dump him.
Yeah. How horrible would that be?
And then in her mind, she's thinking, did you dump him? And that's what caused, the wreck. He wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't thinking, the full head because he was thinking about you.
And when people are in that cycle of grief and loss, you get to this phase where you start playing the blame game. You want to blame somebody for this terrible, senseless tragedy. You want to be that person they blame?
I'm sorry, I don't agree with the listener line caller. It's saying that we're coddling the mom. We're just trying to let this woman grieve. And there are some things that are better left unsaid. This woman does not need to tell this mother, I really wasn't into your son.
And there are plenty of things.
She's
that
not
we do
playing it
coddle.
up like, I loved him so much, I miss him. She's not telling the mom that.
What if she was, say they were married, and they had some problems, they were going to get divorced, but they didn't tell anybody yet.
You got to take that to the grave. You
just
can't
take it
tell
to the
them.
grave and you just got to eat it.
Yeah, because you got your
You
out.
can't hurt
your
them
out
worse.
was, you don't, all the sympathy's on you. Your mate is deceased, and nobody has to know that it was about to get really messy with your assets, your money, your kids.
What if the
your
mom then
house.
lashes out there and goes, he died, and I know he told me he doesn't even love you anymore, and she starts blaming you. You're the reason he died.
Well, listen.
That'd be
You just
crappy.
take the hit and say, you know what, that's the way you feel.
Yeah, you just take the hit. Just take the hit.
I think you got to.
Even though you know the truth.
Because you're not bringing it back. Well, how's that going to help anybody bringing it back? Because then that mom, at some point, because
She could
grief
poison
comes
the
in many
grandkids.
stages, she will
Oh, good point.
eventually
Get even
see
with
the
you.
light.
And tell the grandkids how bad you are. And
Listen, if she's like that, Eric, you control your kids. You control the time they have with the grandmother. She's the grandmother. She's not the mom, right?
well, they're still grandkid parents. They can,
I understand
they'll find
that.
a way to weasel the way in.
Or if they need a sitter.
Yeah.
I'm just
If they
saying.
need a sitter.
There are plenty of people that
You just
completely
lost your
cut off
dad.
their parents.
You just lost your dad. Then you're going to lose your grandma and grandpa too? No.
No, that would be terrible.
Can't do that as a mom.
But if the lady is relentless about crap talking the mom, you don't want that.
You don't want it.
No, I don't agree with that. I think realistically, you find a way to figure it
That's
out.
a lot of loss for a kid.
It really is.
You lose your grandparents and your dad.
Oh, my God.
I'm
How
not
horrible.
saying shut them off. You're ever taking it to extreme. I'm not saying shut them off. I'm saying if
just said
she
you keep them away from them.
you can
That's
keep
shut
them
them off.
away. Meaning like
What is the difference?
In
Let's shut him off.
okay, well I don't mean shut them off completely. I mean like in
Now you're
doses.
changing it.
Okay, I'm changing it. I'm not saying
Waffling.
I did not mean
You're waffling.
I am okay. Fine, I'm waffling. I did not mean totally shut
now
her
I'm
down.
hungry.
I'm saying take it in doses. And if you see after 2 times your kids come home or you've heard her in your house crap talking you,
Then you shut her off.
then you're like, listen, I can't. You're poisonous. Stop this. Your son's gone. I don't, whatever he said, it's unfortunate what we were going through, but I did love him. I had a life with him. I have kids with him. Do not poison my children.
Let's focus on the positives.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
And that's
nobody
a good.
wins.
That's a good way to go at life in general. Rula, somebody's mad at you about a loofah.
Oh,
you know,
okay, let's
do you
hear it.
remember that? Like Kevin and
It's a
Sam were
vegetable.
talking about loofahs.
It grows on trees. It grows on
The
vines.
one
We
with the
saw
stick
all these pictures.
Or the one that's a spongy with a string that Kevin.
Well, y'all
Well-
were calling it a loofah. I was calling it like a mesh sponge, but the loofah is that actual. It looks like a vegetable. It looks like a zucchini that you peel.
A loofah can be several things.
Grow
It has
it.
seeds, and you can grow it. Yeah.
Sam and I were saying that we only knew a loofah as that puffy
Mesh sponge.
that you can never get the soap out of. So here we go.
Roula, Sam and Kevin were right about what a loofah is, and you just kept talking over them. You weren't even listening to them. I love this show. I listen to it every single day. I even listen to the podcast of the hours that I couldn't listen to. But Roula, let them talk. Why are you talking over them and smashing them down for no reason? I
smashing
love
them
you,
down.
Roula, but that was really rude.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you so much.
I didn't know I was smashing you down, Kevin.
were.
You're so worried about loofahs. Who knew?
All over a loofah.
Because a loofah to me is exactly what we were talking about. That really weird, hard, abrasive thing that grows
Kevin
on the
was being
vine.
aloof.
I was saying I had never heard it called that before. Maybe that's a scrubbing sponge, but a loofah is that puffy thing that's netted.
The never-ending suds come out of it.
It looks like a scrunchie.
And I totally felt smashed down.
I'm sorry,
felt smashed
Kevin.
down.
He didn't feel hurt.
It's the Roula and Ryan Show on KRBE with What's Going Down.
Hey, before you get to what's going down in H10, we had a request to bring something back real quick.
Yeah, you used to do a segment, Radio Tradio, basically on-air barter system where someone might have something of value that they're willing or needing to sell. I don't know if you still do that or if you're planning on bringing that back. Hopefully you'll have that segment again.
He sounds like Stingray.
Yeah.
From Karate Kid.
From Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
To me, he sounded like the dude from Sling Blade.
To me, he sounds like Eric when he's older.
It sounds like Eric meets
Eric when he's older.
Homer's buddy, the drunk guy.
Yeah. I got a tractor I want to sell.
So we could.
I'd really like to bring that back.
Let's bring back Radio Tradio for one day.
So how does it work? Tell people how it works so they know and get their items.
I grew up in Illinois, WCMY, 1430 AM. We would do 30 minutes to an hour of, you could call up and trade stuff. Under $250 value, couldn't be guns, fireworks, and the phone line was, all you do is you call up, and it's the best radio.
So would you trade it? Because we've done it in different ways here, but I think the genesis was...
There's no trade. They just, hey, I got something.
It's just because it rhymes.
Want
and
it,
here's how you contact
reach out to me.
Radio Tradio was the name.
But wasn't there something we did once, Eric, where somebody called us with something, and then somebody else called and said, I'll take that something and I'll trade it for this thing.
We definitely did do that.
Yeah, we did that,
we started
right?
with a pencil to see, and we got a car.
That's like a white elephant.
You trade all the way up to something big.
But Radio Tradio is just like, you got some stuff in your house, you want to sell it.
Get rid of it.
It's like
Here's your
audio
email.
yard sale.
Yeah,
here's how you reach me.
Small town radio does that. It's funny because Kevin used to prank WCMY.
I called them with a used cattle prod.
Yeah. So he kept calling in because we have all these numbers here so we can keep calling. And
I crack up like Howard Stern's fans would call in. He goes, I've got the real John Wayne Gacy Santa Claus uniform, and it is amazing.
The clown outfit.
The clown outfit. He goes, there's a few bloodstains on it. And the Radio Tradio people are not picking up. He goes, wow, that's amazing.
Go to like WCMY 1430 on online, and they usually have their
They
podcast.
still exist.
Yeah.
They do their Radio Tradio.
They have their podcasts there, yeah. You can listen to how these. It's just hilarious to hear.
Do they play music on that AM station?
Ooh, no, I think that would just talk.
That's just talk.
Farm reports and stuff?
Yeah, they do a
Like
farm
what you
report
talking
hour.
about?
I'm going to go listen to it right now. I'm going to go find it right now.
All right. Hey, real quick, tomorrow, starting at 7 p.m., it's Fashion Fitness Swim. This is an event I'll be hosting. It benefits the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Y'all, this is a great date night. There's over 70 runways on the model, showing off the hottest summer trends. They've got all these inspirational speakers. The event's at Black Market, which is at 1201 Main Street. They, you buy the ticket, you get all the drinks you want, all the food you want. There's photo booths, exhibits. It's just a great date night, party night. And you get your tickets at fashionfitnessswim.com. That's fashionfitnessswim.com. And that'll be tomorrow. And just come on out. Please join me. Jordan Alvarez returned with an immediate impact. Astros win 5-3 over the White Sox. You watch that one?
Yep. That was afternoon game. I love those afternoon games.
Mm-hmm.
And Seattle lost. So we gained 2 games. We're only like 8 games back, I think.
Behind who? Who's number one in our
Seattle.
division? Ugh.
And we're like half a game ahead of the Rangers.
Meh.
And we
did
played
you
the
see-
Orioles, though. They're in town, and we have our rookie guy coming in pitching tonight. His first game ever in the majors. And he's taking on the Orioles, which just beat the Yankees 17-4.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yep. He's taking on one of the best teams.
We'll see what happens. Hey, real quick, did you see that Damien's is closing down?
Yeah, they closed
In
down.
Midtown? It's going to be August 17th, the last day of service. They've been here for like decades. I think 4 decades.
Yep. That sucks.
Yeah. Pandemic took down another great one. That's what's going down in H-Town.
Is that what they said? It's been 4 years.
No, the pandemic was like,
Huh?
What are you talking about?
No, I know, but I don't think that when I was reading
It's
the
been 4
article,
years.
I don't think they ever fully recovered from the pandemic.
someday, like
is what I was
15
reading.
years from now, if I get fired, pandemic.
No,
took
but
it
I
out.
mean, a lot of people.
Ever since the pandemic,
Everything just went to the toilet.
No, you can get the
Skippity
full article on
toilets.
cron.com, but I mean, I think a lot of businesses just never fully recovered from the pandemic. It's like a domino effect. That's what's going down in H-Town.
Coming up next, Special K and his telemarketer turnaround. What's that phrase you use?
run that back for me again now. I didn't catch that.
How many times is he going to say that before this phone farmer is going to give up on Kevin? Here next on the Roula and Ryan Show.